I don't know about you guys, but I get plane sick pretty easily, right? So a couple years ago, me and my wife, we went out to a concert. And in this concert, they were going to have all of our favorite bands. It was all the music we grew up listening to. And one of the things that was happening during our flight over there is that there was a lot of turbulence, right? If you guys have been on planes, right, you get a lot of turbulence. Now, my wife is perfectly fine with it. But for me personally, I get really sick when I go on airplanes. And when we were going on this plane, it kept on going up and down, so much so that I was starting to get really sick. Now, luckily, the flight wasn't too long. However, what happened is that as the plane was about to land, it went back up, right? And I was confused. I was like, what's going on? We were supposed to be there. And then the pilot tells us that, so it's too windy, so we cannot land the plane. We're going to try it again in about 45 minutes. So I'm already sick, I'm already upset, but I was like, okay, I guess this is what has to happen for our safety, right? So we go around once, and the plane's about to land, and it goes up again. And I'm like, oh man, how many times are we gonna do this? Another 45 minutes go by. The plane comes around, and then doesn't land, right? And then, to my dismay, the pilot on the comm said, all right, everybody, it's unsafe to land, so we're going to have to fly over to LA. Now, we were going to Vegas, but LA was like another 2.5 hours, right? So we had to go another 2 hours, land in LA, and then stay there for about 10 or 15 minutes, right? So then we get over there, I'm still really sick, pretty sure I have a fever at this point. And then after that, we get on the plane from LA, going back to Vegas, that's where we're meant to be. And what happened is that the same thing happens again. We go on this, the plane goes down, it's almost about to touch down, and then it comes back up, right? And everybody in the cabin was getting annoyed. Everyone's getting mad, everyone's getting frustrated, a lot of people were puking. It was a horrible experience. Until finally, we come around one more time, and the pilot successfully lands the plane. Everybody cheers, I'm cheering, everyone's all happy because we finally landed the plane. Now, why am I telling you guys this? Well, as I was reflecting upon that experience and thinking about how much I don't like flying, I was thinking about, wow, this is really similar to how the life of a Christian is, particularly with our faith, right? Now, what is faith? Well, faith is a theological virtue that God gives to us, meaning we can't just get faith, right? God has to give it to us. It's a gift that God gives, right? Which makes it really precious, right? So, faith is the belief in things unseen. Now, a lot of people have this misconception. Having faith in something isn't the belief in something that's not there, right? Our belief in God is well-founded. And in fact, in the next video, I'm going to talk about the 4 proofs or the 4 reasons to believe, logical reasons to believe that there's God. But we're going to get into that another time. But today we're going to talk about faith, right? Now, as a passenger on the plane, my job is to basically trust the pilot, right? Trust the captain. I can't fly a plane. I don't know what's going on, right? Now, if I were in charge, right? If I were in charge in my sickness, I'd be like, well, why don't we just land the plane, right? You guys can see how that can be an issue, right? If I try to take the role of the captain or the pilot, even though I have no experience knowing how to fly a plane, well, I'm going to lead everyone to disaster, right? So our spiritual life is like this as well, right? Sometimes we go through life and we go through a lot of turbulence. We go through a lot of bumpy rides, right? But one of the things that we have as Christians is that we know who's in charge, and that's God, right? God is in charge. God is the pilot of our lives. He should be the pilot of our lives, right? Meaning He's going to take us in all sorts of different directions, but at the end of the day, we're going to get where we're meant to be, which is heaven, right? So my message for you guys today is whenever you're going through something difficult, right? Whenever there's something that's tough in your life, I want you to imagine yourself on this plane. Right? St. Teresa of Lisieux said it best. She said, the world is your ship, not your home. Right? Now what does that mean? Well, the ship being us Christians on earth, in the church, we are on a boat to heaven. Right? Now is the boat our home? This earth, is it our true home? No, heaven is our true home. But we're transitioning to that point. We're just passing through this life into the next one. Right? Now, when you get off this boat, or when you get off this plane, metaphorically, right? What are you going to take with you? Well, if you were on a regular boat, in a regular plane, you probably have luggage, right? You probably have things with you. But are you taking your entire house? No. Are you taking all the food that's in your fridge, all the money you have? Maybe if you have a card or something like that, right? But when we go to heaven, there's nothing we take with us except for our virtues. That's the only thing we take. We take our virtues. We take faith, hope, love, prudence, temperance, fortitude, justice, all the virtues that we're going to talk about in the next few weeks. Those are the things you take into heaven. And this is really important because when we're here on earth, sometimes we'll prioritize things and we'll kind of think, oh, this is more important than that, right? But the most important thing that we seek, as Jesus tells us, is the kingdom of God. If you seek the kingdom of God, everything else will fall into place, right? If you focus on your destination, you focus on where you're going, you're going to be okay with all of the ups and downs, all of the setbacks and difficulties, right? And that was the comfort for me. Me and my wife, we really wanted to see this concert, and if it was any other circumstance where we're going on a plane and we're just going on a plane for no reason, I probably wouldn't have put up with all of that. I probably would have wanted to go back home. But because I wanted to go to this concert badly enough, right, I was willing to, unfortunately, deal with the turbulence on the plane, right, and getting sick. But I was able to recover and go to the concert anyway. So that's the message I have for you guys today. If you guys would like to join my weekly catechism class, go ahead and click the links down below. Also, if you enjoyed this video and you like this content, be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe so you guys don't miss out on new videos. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. God bless.